Welcome to the Get Back, music work talk in Central Texas, Fridays at 1 p.m. Brought to you by the Austin Federation of Musicians and with the Unemployment Compensation Advisory Committee. The Unemployment Compensation Advisory Committee are members of the Austin Federation of Musicians, Local 433 of the American Federation of Musicians, aka the Musicians Union. Some of us work as contractor 1099 workers, and others work as employee W-2 workers in various aspects of the music industry.
The goal of this session is to share our experiences, including trials and tribulations related to the Texas Workforce Commission, or TWC, with other musicians in the state of Texas to aid in navigating the TWC application process. We are not experts in unemployment assistance. We are musicians.
The information contained herein does not constitute either legal advice or an official pronouncement or a position of the Austin Federation of Musicians, but rather is only the personal opinions of the panelists. The panelists do not give legal advice or make official rulings on agency matters, should not be cited as authorities in any matter before the agency or when dealing with agency staff about a case, and must minimize their involvement with administrative processes. They also do not give legal advice on any other matter, and any information they should give should not be used as a basis for taking any employment-related action. Before taking any employment action that could adversely affect an employee, or before using any sample form or policy you may obtain from this group, you should consult a licensed, private sector, employment law attorney of your choice. All right, welcome to the Get Back for March 25th, 2022. I'm Aaron, and Russell's here joining us. Hello, Russell. Yeah. We always start by calling attention to the links down in the show description. Those are kind of the best way to get a hold of the union office and other COVID economic recovery resources for musicians, which is generally what we talk about on the show. Also, if you're watching the archived version of the show, there will be the links to the articles that we talk about today. But if you're watching live, they won't be there yet, but they will be eventually. So bear with us. We always start with the old beverages. I'm doing coffee as usual. Are you drinking anything over there, brother?
Spring water. Back to normal.
There you go. Oh, gosh. Let's hope, right? Let's hope. Man. I guess, well, that's an excellent segue right there. Let's start with that. So this week, we went down to stage 2. Was it this week or last week?
Last week.
Yeah. And it looks like the numbers are there to go down to stage 1 even in Austin, which is incredible. We haven't been there in so long. We're still technically in stage 2. I'm looking at the public health website here. We're still in stage 2, but it may go down to stage 1 pretty soon, and that would just be incredible. So a lot of places where we're working, have dropped mask mandates. The testing mandates for a lot of the places went out last week, and some of them the week before. People are, free to go, they feel more free to go out and experience live music, which is great. That's incredible. Of course, we were just on a call just the other day with a couple folks that got COVID during the South by thing. So it's still there. It's not gone, but it seems like it's gone almost with the way that the protocols have just dropped. I mean, what are you hearing about that, brother?
Same thing. That the protocols have sort of been relaxed, and although there is another variant on the horizon, but it's supposedly not as bad, and the current vaccine is supposed to be resistant to that. So apparently we're in pretty good shape.
Mm-hmm.
And what they were waiting for after spring break, the news has been pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, everyone's sort of waiting to see what would happen during during that.
The data's pretty good.
Uh-huh.
So.
Yeah, that's excellent news, man. The other variant you're talking about is the Omicron B or something like that. That one.
They've given it a name now.
Yeah, like B2 or something like that. Yeah, but yeah, and we'll see. I mean, they're seeing some surges in the UK and China. Um, so we'll have to keep an eye on that for sure. And we want, musicians, of course, to know that, just because the mask requirements are gone, like you don't have to stop wearing a mask if you don't want to,
Yeah.
especially if you've got a really good reason to, like you are immunocompromised or you live with someone who's immunocompromised or whatever. Yeah, no one should be telling you you can't wear a mask. It's
Yeah.
just you don't have to in a lot of places in Austin right now. So
Yeah,
yeah,
your health is your business, and I still think you should still be as careful as you can, or
hmm
feel as comfortable as you need to be for your work environment.
yeah. Yeah. Don't throw away the masks. Yeah,
Yeah,
either keep them around because we know how this thing has been with the the roller coaster of COVID. I think you still need them on public transportation too, right? If you're
yes,
taking a bus
public
in, if
transportation,
you're
planes. Yeah,
and I mean, especially working in downtown areas, finding ways to use public transpo is a really good idea if you can do it. If you've got the back line there, if you don't have to bring an amp, if you don't have to bring a drum set or a PA or something, and you can take the bus in. That's a really good option because parking is going up, up, up.
yep,
Yeah. So it's there. It's good news though. It's good news for the audiences. That's the important thing for us. We can't do anything if
right.
the audience don't come out. So yeah, that's wonderful to see, and it's very very exciting, very heartening. I feel my heart picking up as that happens. So, yeah,
It, from a musician standpoint, it's more relaxing to feel like, okay, I'm probably not going to get sick of it again, so I can kind of enjoy playing and not be paranoid. Like, is this it? Is this the one where I actually get it?
yeah. Is that person standing too close to me? Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. I'm with you. Oh my gosh. Yeah. What a relief. Yeah. So yeah, but still want to keep an eye on it, But
Yeah,
we also want to we want to really perform with all of our stage presence that we can possibly muster, because the people are going to start coming out, you know, more now, and we want to keep them coming out. We have to,
sure.
we got it. That's our whole business right there. So
They
yeah,
need us like we need them.
they really do, and they're ready. Yeah, they're ready to come see some live music. I've definitely experienced that the last couple weeks. Some folks that hadn't been out yet that are just like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so glad to be here," And it's like, yes, yeah, and we're glad they're here. And yeah, it's one of these times where it's really emotional again to get back together and start just celebrating together. The whole live music performance thing that we love so much. Man, well, okay, so let's see. Anything about that? We like I said, we're still in stage 2. We're expecting maybe there's going to be a drop to stage 1 pretty soon. We think. You have any inside info on that? I know sometimes you get.
That's kind of the whispers that
hmm
they were waiting for the data from spring break, and so far so good, and then that's kind of where we're trending to.
hmm
That it's going to go to stage 1.
That's great. That's really great, man. Yeah. Jeez. All right. Well, let's hope that trend continues, and yeah, keep on going. Of course, it has been brought up that some of the countries that are having surges now have higher vaccination rates than we do in this country. um,
Right.
so that's something to keep talking about. I mean, the vaccines are still there. They're still available. They're still safe and effective, and we just got to keep talking about it, And yeah,
There is no line. You can just go to your local pharmacist or wherever and
yeah.
in
If
and
you
out.
if you haven't been boosted yet, now's the time to do that.
Yep.
Um, Unfortunately, I guess we could talk about that. I mean, it's starting to get harder. Starting this week, it's starting to get harder to get a free COVID test. Some of that funding,
Yes. Big cut.
particularly if you don't have insurance, some of that funding is not come back yet, and that's directly related to what happened in Congress. What was that 2 weeks ago or last week, when they took the COVID funding out of the bill?
That was
Um,
last week.
yeah, that's that funding that pays for those tests, um, And so, like, if you have insurance, the insurance will pay for it. But sometimes, if the insurance, I've seen letters now from insurance companies that say if it's a test for work, or even if it appears to be for work, they won't cover it. They'll only cover it if it's personal and you have symptoms. So if you're getting a test to go to work just to be safe, it's going to be harder to get a test, and that's bad news. But the CDC current recommendations are not to get a test unless you have symptoms. So it kind of matches up, but it's harder. And I'm really worried that funding vacuum is going to start affecting the availability of the vaccines too, or the boosters, right? Because that's that same pool of money. So that would be really bad if that happened, because we're not all vaxxed yet. We're not all boosted yet. There are a lot of people that are missing boosters that have had vaccines that need the booster now, and now's a good time while it's kind of in a in a recess. You can feel comfortable going out to the drugstore or whatever. So
you can be in and out.
Yeah, that's right. You're right about that. There's not the lines like there were. Yeah. So here we go. Yeah. But anyway, we definitely want to keep an eye on that as well. Yeah. So. All right. Well, what else we need to talk about here? I mean, it came out. I think it was yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. That some of the mail-in ballots that were refused were Willie Nelson and his wife. They didn't get to vote, and it looks like from this article they tried twice. They tried it twice, and their mail-in ballots were refused. Like, come on, y'all.
You
gotta laugh to keep from crying.
You hate to you hate to say this, but they tried so hard to rig these elections, and it's so blatant that with the cheating, and that's why I just have this hand.
Mm-hmm.
You just walk in there like you're playing cards. There it is.
Yeah, it's all there. Read it and weep.
Read it and weep it.
Yeah.
Go on to the next line.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really kind of fear mongering, because you're kind of afraid, well, is it going to count? So maybe I won't even bother with the process.
Yeah.
You kind of eliminate yourself, and they just say, well, see, we didn't really do what you did.
Yeah, you're right. That's exactly the problem with it, right? Yeah.
Just get with the process. I mean, learn the rules and make sure that you can vote, because it's essential that your vote be counted properly, because the people that have made this system need to go.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like we had radical civil disobedience in the 60s, but
Right.
like now we need radical civil obedience in order to get all the votes that we need to get in there. It's like, yeah, I don't know, a radical civic participation. I'm not sure. We got to come up with something that sounds sexy.
Right. Yeah.
But either way, I think you're right. Like you got to just make sure that your vote counts and that you can vote. And yeah, I even had in the last election, I brought my registration card with me, like you suggested. And I think a lot of people are doing that, or like slapping it down on the table. But there it is, like, I dare you, because I had a poll worker be like, "Oh, thank you, but we actually need your ID." Like, okay. It's almost like they had seen that before that day, which I think is a good thing. I think that
like an act of fire. But when I went in there, I had it. I'm like, let's see what questions you're going to have. You slid that over across the table.
Yeah.
Like one of those rap guys.
Do your worst. Yeah. I like it.
Like, man, you're going to hell for this. You should
man.
Just give me an idea. You see, you're here trying to start something.
Well, we don't want to demonize all the poll workers now. Come on now. So a lot of those folks are doing.
You targeting the wrong people. You see, See, I don't like ugly. See, just go to the next line.
Oh man. No, but we're grateful for those poll workers. They put up with a lot of grief,
You
but
trying to start something.
yeah. Jeez. Oh man. But anyway, so that's a very high profile person that was affected by these new voting
Sure.
laws, and that's good that that message got out. But of course, what about the other thousands of people that
Yeah.
aren't
I
Willie
mean,
Nelson, that don't have a voice in this? You know, that their votes didn't count. So yeah,
Willie is the most high profile person in Texas. There isn't anyone that doesn't know him.
that's true. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And you gonna send that guy back?
Maybe they didn't believe it was him. They're like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
Let us know when
sure, let's hear
the
it.
real Willie Nelson wants to vote. No.
What's your dad?
I am the real Willie Nelson. No. Man, yeah. So, anyway, that's a big article in the Statesman. We'll have the link to that. Gosh, yeah. What was the other thing we want to talk? Oh, of course, the tornado this week. The
Oh yeah,
tornadoes. There were 3 that touched down within the area. What was it? Pflugerville,
uh,
Elgin.
Elgin and not really Georgetown, but Round Rock. I think that's it. Round Rock,
Yeah,
Louisville,
yeah.
and Elgin, I believe.
Hmm.
And I don't think it was Smithfield, but they were on the the cusp. They
Oh,
had the red diamond there that
yeah.
could be struck.
And we know it did some damage in New Orleans when it got over there, and yeah, big system. I mean, it was like the whole country. When you looked on the radar map, it was like
Yeah,
gigantic. Yeah, man. So yeah, our hearts go out to anybody that was affected. Of course, so we know people did lose houses. You know, yeah, musicians. Give us a call at the office and see if you need help. Like, see what we can do. Like,
right.
yeah.
Yeah,
Um, because yeah, that's a terrible thing to have happen. And yeah, so I had a friend that lives up there in Round Rock that we were just talking about sent me an overhead map, and like his house was like in the corner, and then all around it was marked in red where the tornado had hit, and it didn't hit his house, but it hit all of his neighbors. It was just crazy. It was like, wow. I don't know what he did to scare the tornado away, but yeah.
those things are highly unpredictable. They just sort
Hmm.
of bounce around, and
Hmm.
once you see them, doesn't mean you know where they're going.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, and that's a good point. They were talking about people watching it come in, and it's like that's not a good idea. Like,
Yeah,
take
you
shelter
don't
because
know.
you don't know how fast it's coming. It
Yeah,
doesn't stay consistent. Yeah, so
and it's frightening to see those things.
hmm yeah,
I too had a friend who was kind of looking out there, and he said that it was like dead calm.
hmm
He said this. I knew something was wrong.
hmm hmm
He said
No,
he
and it,
saw it coming over.
no, and it's almost irresistible for like us as artists to like have the opportunity to observe a monumental natural phenomenon like that, but
Yeah,
but you got to take cover. You got to
and
get inside.
it's almost inspirational because I started thinking I should play my song. It's a
Yes,
thunder
yeah,
rain.
yeah. That's
No,
it. Yeah, exactly.
you should get in the tub.
I should take a promotional photo for my next album.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me.
You should get in the house. Come on, Ray, we're going.
No, it's almost irresistible. But yeah, you gotta take cover.
You get swept up in the thing.
Oh man, yeah. Then you really have a publicity cover, man. Oh man, yikes.
He didn't have any sense. Look at there he goes.
Hmm. Oh my gosh, yeah, yeah. And of course, I mean, we can joke about it. I think there was didn't they say that there was no loss of life so far
So far
in this area? I mean, we
in
know
this
there was
area,
some in New Orleans, but yeah,
but man, they did do some property damage.
yeah, yeah.
There was a house on the news where the family actually went into the bathroom and pulled a mattress over themselves in the tub,
Hmm.
and when they removed the mattress, the whole house was gone.
Wow. Jeez. Thank goodness they had the sense to do that,
Yeah,
because that's terrifying. Yeah.
Oh, hats off to local meteorologists who were kind of saying, take these precautions. If you
Hmm.
don't have a place to go, do this, do this, do this, do this, and they were listening.
Yeah, yeah, and they were warning that it was going to be severe for days
It was bad.
beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's definitely a miracle for sure. So, whew, man, yeah, yikes. Well, any other topics? I think we'll have kind of a short session today.
Well,
Anything we should address?
the rent relief is coming back.
Oh yes, yeah. We've been keeping our eye on that. What
Yeah.
do you hear?
They told, well, I won't say they told me, but they said April
Ah,
the money will be there.
okay. And is that an update on the website?
Well, it's not on the website yet, but
No. Okay. Yeah, I don't see it
somebody
there, but it's still
who
you can
knows
still get on the mailing list,
on
right?
the
Yeah.
list. Yep,
Yep. Yeah, and that's important. That's
it
the
is
route you want to
important
go.
with the way that the rents in Austin are going.
Hmm. Yeah.
That needs to be almost immediate.
Yeah. Well, we most of the people that we've been talking to on the show, we're managing to keep our heads above water, But I don't mind sharing personally, like the month of February, this past February was the worst month of the whole pandemic for me. And things are way better right now, but February was terrible. So it's very possible that folks will still need rent relief for
Oh yeah,
sure, and that's the way to do it, as we've spoken at length, is because it helps the tenant and the landlord.
sure, it's a
Yeah,
win-win.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. Yeah. Whew. But hopefully we're going to start seeing more work come back as the summer months come in. Even if there's another surge, we have the advantage of being able to do a lot more outdoor work in this
Sure,
area than further north. So, yeah, hopefully we can keep it going. I'm
well,
looking forward to it.
especially now because we kind of know how to handle it now.
Mm-hmm.
We know we kind of have a blueprint. What
Mm-hmm.
you can do is what you can't do. Whereas that first time, we didn't have a clue.
Yeah,
We didn't know how it spread. We didn't know what to do. So now we kind of have an idea. We have a plan, basically.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. We've already had far more severe protocols in place than we have now that we can always go back to really quickly.
Yeah,
And we can go back to the ones that we know worked, and would leave
yeah,
the other ones out on the table. Like the frenzied, cleaning of surfaces and everything. We know that that's not really that necessary now. It's more important
the
to
helmet on, two spray cans on the side.
yeah, yeah, all that stuff. Yeah, remember when people had those bottles of spray hand sanitizer that they would just like point at you like, "Hey, do you need to?"
Right?
Like they were fending people off with them. Yeah, and that's all still important, of course. But yeah, yeah, we know what works and we know what doesn't. And
Right.
yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah. And I think getting back to the mask thing, I think that that's just the appearance of wearing a mask is just not that's not as shocking as it was back in 2020. I mean,
Yeah.
it's much more normalized now. And it has been for a long time in other countries. We talked about that too.
Yeah.
And now we also find out that it helps with the cedar too,
Who
which
knew?
which is still around. The cedar's still around. That's an issue with doing outdoor gigs. Is the pollen is really hanging
It's
around longer.
yeah. I did a show and I was kind of hoarse. I'm not even a singer. I'm thinking, wow,
Yeah.
what is this?
Yeah, it's the cedar's still there, and there's oak pollen, and yeah, it's really held on longer than it usually does this year. And I don't. That's not related to COVID, I don't think. But
I don't think so either.
yeah,
Now there's the what is it the burn thing from I think it's coming up from Mexico now.
oh yeah, and what's north central Texas, I guess. Yeah, there were some wildfires up there. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the ash. Yeah,
yeah, we're
in
getting
the
that
air.
now.
Yes. Yeah. In fact, I mean, you could see it even after the thunderstorms on Monday. Like immediately there was this like muddy stuff on things because that was still coming in, as well as the pollen and the regular Texas dust and everything. So yeah, Yeah, I don't think we got as
Great.
much rain as we were hoping we would get on Monday either. We got a
Well,
lot.
watch your forecast because they're saying Wednesday
Oh,
there's a chance that maybe.
oh, that's good. We need some more rain. We don't
Yep.
need it all at the same time,
Right.
which is always the problem in Texas. But
We don't need
uh,
that Noah's Ark thing. We just
no,
need just
no,
rather
no.
just a soaking couple days, and that's go away after that.
Yes, yeah. Well said. Well said.
We don't need anything floating.
Nope, nope. Yeah, just enough to water the plants and
Right.
yeah.
Don't need anything severe. Just
Nope.
know.
Fill up the reservoirs, Lake
Right.
Travis, get it back. Cover up some of those islands that. Yep, absolutely.
Need
Jeez.
anything severe.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be nice.
Yep. Yep. Right on. Right on. All right. Anything else we should mention before we sign off?
I can't think of anything else.
I can't think of anything either, but I'm sure something will come up by next week because it always does.
Yeah.
And if you, the listener, are in the music business, don't give up. We're getting through this by sharing information and solidarity. It's a great time to do your business better as you come back to doing business. Join a union, use union contracts, change the power dynamic in the music business, the music industry. Because the workers do have a lot more power than they think, and it's always true. And we're seeing it all across the labor movement, the entire country. So join us. We'll be here next week on the Get Back, and you should be too. We'll see you then.